All right, there's breaking news. President Trump now responding to the bombshell from his former fixer and attorney Michael Cohen. In a new Fox News interview, the president was asked about Cohen's testimony, his statements yesterday under oath before a federal judge that he directed, that the president, Mr. Trump, directed him, coordinated with him to make hush money payments to two women who said they had an affair with Mr. Trump. Here's what he said just moments ago. This is the president of the United States when asked about his knowledge of those payments.
Later on, I knew. Later on. But you have to understand, Ainsley, what he did, and they weren't taken out of campaign finance. That's a big thing. That's a much bigger thing. Did they come out of the campaign? They didn't come out of the campaign. They came from me, and I tweeted about it. You know, I don't know if you know, but I tweeted about the payments. But they didn't come out of campaign. In fact, my first question when I heard about it was, did they come out of the campaign? Because that could be a little dicey. And they didn't come out of the campaign, and that's big. But they weren't, it's not even a campaign violation. If you look at President Obama, he had a massive campaign violation, but he had a different attorney general, and they viewed it a lot differently.
All right, let's assess what we just heard with our crime and justice reporter Shimon Prokopez, who's with us, and our politics reporter and editor-at-large Chris Cillizza. Chris, what's your reaction?
Okay, two things. One, Donald Trump saying he didn't know at the time runs directly counter to what Michael Cohen said in the plea agreement. Michael Cohen said it was directed and coordinated along with the President of the United States.
Let me be precise. This is what he told the federal judge yesterday in New York, that he made these two payments to these two women, Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, quote, in coordination and at the direction of a candidate for federal office. And he then said it was designed to, quote, influence the election.
Okay, so you can say, well, it's a he said, sort of. Michael Cohen is testifying under oath in that plea agreement. And the Southern District of New York, the prosecutors have to believe that he is testifying truthfully in order to say, okay, we'll give you a plea agreement. So that's point one. Point two. I don't know that Donald Trump understands what he's talking about as it relates to campaign finance law. Sure, if it didn't come from the campaign, that's one thing. But even so, it would mean that he was loaning money to Michael Cohen as sort of an in-kind contribution to his campaign. That would then have to be disclosed. Put aside the fact that, according to Cohen, this was all part of an attempt to influence the election by keeping these two women, Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, silent. So he's not on solid legal ground here, but I always defer to Shimon.
Well, here's the other thing, and they made this very clear, the prosecutors, this was being done to influence the election. So what does it matter in terms of whether this was a personal, whether this came from the president personally or the campaign? They made it very clear, and Michael Cohen in court made it very clear. I was doing this to influence the 2016 campaign at the direction and the cooperation of Donald Trump.